Okay, today I'll be taking a Minecraft video. Minecraft is a game created by a producer whose username is Notch. It's a solo project and is very fun if you're not too heavy on what the graphics look like. This project I'm about to load up is a town I'm starting. I've only been 8 days through the game, and you run around. Most of it's deforested. I chopped it all down with an axe, then burned it with some flint and steel, which very fun tool. I don't know who couldn't enjoy burning sheep. It's just nothing's better. I'll probably get yelled at by animal activists for that. And here's my house. It's the gardens over here. A little water to hydrate it. Those are growing. I have to wait till they're fully grown. Then I get wheat and seeds back. Title. This is my balcony. Most of this is over space. Monsters tend to get stuck in there, which is really irritating because they cannot burn because the lighting is not direct. Go in, enter. Now the area is carpeted. As you can tell, there's a sign saying living room. You can see the top of the roof from here. I might fix that, might not. I use wool for my carpeting, looks best. But you know, that's pretty much empty. Go downstairs. Second sign, living quarters. One day after I replace this sand with wool, I might go ahead and add beds in here, or more furnaces and storage crates and whatnot. Here's my storage crate, some extra stuff I've collected. A workbench, and my furnace. Everything you mine in this game off the surface of the planet can later be used for other objects, like hence a workbench. Like say you want a furnace, just place some cobblestone, bam, you got a furnace. I prefer to save my cobblestone right now, as I'm not really in need of that. You then have the bedroom, also the spawning room. When you die, you always spawn right here. For some reason it spawns you one block in the air and you fall. And then you have my bathtub, or as much as I'm going to get it. It's just an infinite spring of water. Seemed pretty logical, because I was tired of running to the ocean. And extra house. You just keep going forward. One day I will build a footpath out, and I hope to create an entire city. My next thing I must build, though, is probably going to be the town center. After that, I will go on to create a bank, because I really get irritated not having enough storage room and losing all my stuff when I die. Then go over here. This is the top of the balcony, and you can go down. I might make a little path up to the town later. And this is my mine. It's nicely labeled. Entrance. You can go in. Here's the basic form I use. Only it's a little bit changed for the entrance. Workbench in case you do need more pickaxes. That sometimes happens. And here's the balcony. Monsters cannot jump in this, but you can still see the time, and it's almost nightfall, which is bad. Once monsters comes out, unless of course you're a monster hunter and you just run around killing everything. Something I'm not very good at. You can then go down the floors. There's usually walls, but on this one there isn't, just because of the way the cavern kind of went around it. You can go down, and then goes to the regular formula, which is you have your entrance right here. You go down a bit, and it repeats that every other side. So you have a bunch of 5x5 floors that go all the way down until you hit bedrock, which is when I will be stopping and creating a second mine. This was a coal vein. This is basically what I do whenever I find a vein along the edge. I just create a path to it and mine it out. Then go back up, as it's a very small mine right now, not much to explore. And right now the monsters are about to come out, so it'll be very irritating. And I'm going to be killing pigs and sheep. Since wool is for carpeting, it's also an annoyance to get, as it's not something you just mine out of the floor. You actually have to find sheep and punch them, which after recent updates, I found they spawn a lot less. I always get pigs, cows, and chickens, which is very irritating. And so, actually here pretty soon, monsters are going to be spawning. Probably can't see anything, so I'm going to try to find a monster and light them on fire. Maybe that'll help. And they're not spawning. Basically, they only spawn in a small area around your character, set up in an 8x8 grid, or 3x3 grid. It's, I think, a bunch of 16x16 blocks. And then further out of that is even larger blocks, which is how far the map actually sets itself up. It has very confusing scripting, if you ask me. So the monsters have chosen not to spawn, so sadly I can't show you what happens when you light a monster on fire. As fun as that always is. And when I go back to the house, I close it off the fence. You have an advantage chopping fences down if you use a sword, which is ironic because the sword also gets hurt more when you use it for that. And I go back to the house, and I usually just wander around, create more objects for the next day until it's day again. I have no watch or no compass, so I'm pretty much a Neanderthal running around with some weapons. And that is all for today.